Hello, welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real, metaphysical, and occult topics so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. This week, we're going to talk about the Goatia spirit Gamigin, or Samigina. And we'll explain why this spirit has two names and tell you a little bit about it and working with it. So stay tuned. Okay, so keeping with our Goatia Spirit series, we're going to continue on with the fourth spirit of the Goatia, which is known to most people as Gamigin. This one I always found interesting because if you'll notice with the Goatia Sigils, when you look them up on Google or anywhere, you'll notice the name of the entity is around the sigil. There is a G in the names of this, so it never really caught my attention. However, when I was working with this entity and talking with it, the entity corrected me on its name and asked me to please call it Samigina. That kind of threw me off for a little bit, but when I looked at the sigil, I realized if you look around the border of the sigil I was using, and online, that's actually what's on the border of most of them. If not, I'll be honest, I can't find one that says Gamigin, is Samigina. So this entity does seem to have two names throughout lore, and it has requested that I call it Samigina, so that's the one I use. Or Samigina. Yeah, it's a tricky one to pronounce for me. I do apologize, so bear with me. I'll try and stick with Samigina. Now, appearance of this particular spirit. Traditionally, this spirit is said to appear as a horse or a mule, and when commanded, will take upon a humanoid shape. Also, a lot of people have reported that this entity will take on a hybrid human horse form or mule and horse form. So that is actually a pretty interesting appearance compared to some of the ones that we have seen. Definitely not the weirdest one we've heard of lore-wise. Now, some of the details on this spirit. In rank, Samigin is viewed as a marquise within the Goatia. The metal that the Goatia recommends the sigil be made out of or is present or representative of this spirit is silver. The planet, the moon. Color is violet. And I'll be honest, I actually do see the spirit often wearing a lot of violet colors and grays, so makes sense. Element is water, and with that association with the moon and silver, that actually makes perfect sense as well. Those are pretty standard associations energetically in most traditions. Now, the next thing you're probably wondering is, what can the spirit actually help me with? And I actually work with this spirit quite a bit. Samigin helps me a lot around the office and with different projects. The reason being, Samigina actually allows for communication with those who have passed on. So that's talking with spirits of the dead, people who passed on to the other side, etc. Can improve one's abilities as a writer. This is really where I lean in and ask for Samigina's help a lot. Many of you know I like the video format because I am a much better talker. I enjoy the talking one-on-one with students and everything, and when it comes to communicating in written word, I fall short a lot, so I do prefer this. I am working with Samigina to become a better writer in order to further projects in the future, such as books or the like that many people have requested that I do, and that I would actually like to get published. Samigina can also give an air of authority to one's spoken communications. Now, this is really helpful if you're soft-spoken or you feel no one's listening to you when you're in a group, or let's say you have a public speaking event and you want to make sure that what you're saying is being taken seriously as you give your lecture or your report or whatever it is you're public speaking for. This is a great use. This will actually draw them in with an air of authority that will cause them to listen and retain the information far better. This is not the kind of force them to do what you want authority. Be aware of that. Improve creativity overall. Yes, this is magnificent. Samigina can actually help you with creativity, whether that is with writer's block, just trying to be more creative in your day-to-day life and work, all those different things. And the final one, which to me, everyone wants to put this one on there, and I don't know, it feels like the other one to me, to be honest, but since everyone likes to have it on there, we're going to put it on there, because maybe some people will interpret this different. Help in artistic works and inspiration. Now, if you're helping me be creative and you're helping me get ideas, to me that's artistic works and inspiration. So creativity would be this, but I do see why some people would separate it. So if you are working on any artistic works, you want assistance in it in some way, or perhaps it's marketing of the artistic works. I guess if you could apply that to this to that as well, and that would actually be different than creativity for sure. And, well, ideals and inspirations for what you want to work on and what things that you can use to vent your creativity. Now, one thing that I will say when it comes to inspiration, I did have a student used Samigina and reached out for inspiration in a artwork, a painting or a sculpture to craft and do during her shadow work. And Samigina helped with the ideal, the outlining of how she could go about doing this particular artwork during a very deep and intense shadow working she did. And Samigina's inspiration for that particular working and how it went was massively beneficial to her. So that's actually a great use for this spirit if you haven't done shadow work, or if you know you've got a deep shadow work coming up. Because we all continue to do shadow work throughout our careers. It's not a one-time thing. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and get Samigina's sigil up on the screen here. So as you can see around the border, there is the name Samigina. Now, when it comes to uns, we know a lot of people like to use uns. We've talked about them with every spirit when we have them. This one, actually, the un for this spirit that I've been able to find over the years always tends to gravitate toward Gamigin. So it's este ta et tasa Gamigin. First off, I have trouble pronouncing that G name to start with. I'm sure somebody will correct my pronunciation and tell me how stupid I am on YouTube. This is actually the most popular one. However, when Samigina actually told me to use the name Samigina instead of Gamigin, which is in this particular un, I attempted to use this un just replacing the name. Did not work, and when I was finally able to get in touch with Samigina through evocation, I was given a second un directly from Samigina. And that un I was given, I don't know if I've not been able to find it anywhere else, so far I know I've not found it anywhere else. That's what I'm saying here. But I did make sure when making this video and talking with Samigina that I could share it. So let's go ahead and slap this up on the screen as well, and you can use whichever one you choose, or you can try them both out, play around with them, see what works best for you. And that is Esta bara et ta sor Samigina. So Esta bara et ta sor Samigina. Okay? That is the un for this particular spirit, which they gave to me to utilize. So feel free to test both of the names and both of the uns and see how you're going to get the best response. In my experience, from magician to magician, the name and the uns tend to differ. You got to find what works the best for you. So whichever name works best, go ahead and use it. The spirit won't mind. I think, honestly, when I was talking to him, I was curious if it was an insult to use the other name, and they said no, it's just that is on the seal, and it would be easier for you to pronounce because of your twang. I didn't even realize spirits understood what a twang was, but hey, there we go. And so I've been using it. So yeah, using the other name's not an issue at all. Both names are perfectly viable, and you can test both ends and see which one works out for you. Now, of course, with the lore and details and associations over, everyone always wants to know what is my personal experiences with this spirit. This spirit has only appeared as a horse once for me. It's never actually appeared as a mule. More often than not, it takes on a humanoid appearance, usually male. Though it has at times taken on the humanoid hybrid shape. That's actually, I've seen more than just the horse. I've never actually seen this spirit just to manifest as a horse. So anytime I do work with the spirit, he usually looks human or he has the humanoid horse features to it. And I've been asked, does he actually have hands when he's a humanoid horse? Yes, he has hands, luckily. I mean, if you can take a shape, I don't know why you wouldn't give yourself hands. They're so handy. I have found him very helpful in matters of writing and overcoming creative mental blocks. Y'all know I get terrified in front of these cameras. I love doing what I do to help the community and help all those seekers out there. But I do have a fear of cameras. And that fear, when I sit down to think about the videos I'm going to film for this channel, can actually hit me with a string of writer's block, and it just knocks me out for a bit. I have found Samigina to be massively helpful in allowing me to get the creative juices flowing and get the ideals for videos pumping and help me craft those outlines that I need to do these videos. Now that said, also meditation has helped me a lot with that, just in pushing down and getting past the fear. And honestly, the more and more I do this channel, the more comfortable I do find myself in front of the camera. Though there is definitely that there's still that fear of once that camera's on and it's recording, of making sure you get it right, making sure you don't screw it up. Yes, you can fix a lot in editing, but there's some things you just cannot. And that is a little bit of pressure when it comes to being in front of a camera, but that's okay. I think that's why I tend to do better in live streams, because it's not really recorded in a way that's going to be edited. It's just, look, this is me. Luckily, you all seem to enjoy the live streams on Fridays and Sundays. And as I did mention earlier, he is, in fact, one of the entities that is helping me to organize my works in hopes of publishing a few books, or at least the current courses and stuff that's in the school over at workingdragonmystic.com into a book format for those who prefer books rather than video demonstration style courses, or for someone who wants a book to work along with the course. Either way. So yeah, this is a spirit I enjoy working a lot with. Honestly, if you are a writer or you're artistic and you're in creativity in any kind, I would definitely recommend working with this spirit. I have highly enjoyed it. Samigina has been very, very helpful to my works, my creativity, and things that I'm doing to try and help others and share what knowledge and information I have. That said, when it comes to public speaking, again, Samigina is magnificent. First time I ever had to do a lecture at a little get-together for metaphysical practitioners. This was going to be my first time on stage public speaking to a crowd that I could see in front of everybody. I turned to Samigina for the aid in the public speaking area. And honestly, I was hoping he could just get them not to heckle me. I figured if I could get past the heckling, I could just stumble the rest of the way through the presentation. And honestly, he did far better. Not only did he prevent any heckling, he really kept people's attention, listening, got the crowd's interaction, asking questions. We had a great Q&A. And that really helped me continue to do different workshops and stuff like that while I was in that particular area and everything before. we moved, and then of course I had to start rebuilding, and that led to this YouTube channel now where I'm reaching far more people, which is awesome. So yeah, that I would definitely recommend Samigina to anyone who is artistic, creative, or needs to do some public speaking. Hands down, very, very helpful spirit to have as your ally and friend. All right. So if you haven't already attempted to reach out and work with this spirit, I do recommend this spirit. And this is actually one that I would recommend to a beginner. Very, very approachable, very nice, very easy to work with. I've definitely enjoyed all the times him and I's worked together. Now, that said, we mentioned the courses earlier. Do go over to workingdragonmystic.com. There you'll see a tab. Takes you to the online school where we do have courses that are being published. We've already got several up there. One on meditation, two in-depth on dragon magic, one to help improve your arcane sight, which if you're working with spirits, that's going to come in handy. And we are adding more. We've already got a lot more classes planned. Also, if you haven't already, join us on Friday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When we go live here on the channel, we do a nice Q&A. I share what I'm working on, different things like that. And if you're interested, also feel free to join us over in the Discord. We have built up a wonderful community over there. Everyone's helping each other, sharing their information. It's great. And with that said, you all have a wonderful week. And until next time, I'm Drake. This has been Working Dragon Mystic. Take it easy.